इंडिया में सबको ये लगता है कि मुझे तो सब कुछ पता है. People feel I can watch one YouTube video and I would know which is the right card and what to do or not to do.
How did you turn from a Baniya family to a corporate employee? Because generally in Baniya family there's that mindset ना कि गल्ले पे जाके बैठना है.
So could you tell us about some very interesting benefits or certain cards that people in different age groups should use?
So for example, one of the cards which you guys can probably look at is
And what are some cards we should use to optimize for flights?
I've not paid for an air ticket in more than 7-8 years. I've not paid for hotel in more than 5 years. That's more than 350 flights. That's more than 9 international trips, more than 100 hotel nights. We've come to a point where we bought jewelry worth probably 15-20 lakh rupees in the last 3 years using nothing but credit card reward points.
As you were creating a new market from the start, so you had to be very consistent and very high on motivation. So what are some things that kept you consistent throughout? What is your credit score? Matlab? So hi Ashish, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me here.
So the agenda for this podcast is for someone, firstly, for someone our age who's building in the fintech industry, and secondly, the consumer mindset has shifted in terms of personal finance from a millennial to Gen Z. So how should a Gen Z or a person our age should maintain his personal finances? So that would be the basic agenda. Can you start us by giving us a little introduction about yourself, your education, your growing up, and what did you do before SaveSage?
Cool. So I come from a typical Banya family, a lower middle class family. So born and brought up in Mumbai. My parents came from Rajasthan. So in 80s, illiterate people moving to a big city in search of a living क्योंकि गांव में तो कुछ था नहीं काम करने के लिए. So they came to Bombay and I was born over there. Grew up helping my dad with the small trading setup. So there were no employees over there. So every day after college, I used to rush off and help him out at his shop. तो यार बहुत ही बाद में बस I did my graduation in biotechnology, got my MBA, got my CFA charter. So that's about me from an academic perspective.
Which college did you do your MBA from?
So I did my MBA from IMT Ghaziabad in 2009.
Okay.
And got my CFA charter, I think 2011 is when I got the charter. So that's about me from an academic perspective. Then I began my career with Fino. It used to be the fintech company back in 2009. It's a payments bank right now. Worked on multiple projects over there. After that, I went to Travelocity. This is back in 2011. Travelocity used to be the number 2 OTA globally, online travel agent like Make My Trip. They had just entered the India market and they had acquired a company called Travel Guru, which was all about hotels booking. Was very exciting because these were the very early days of e-commerce in India or rather internet in India. So we were trying to answer very basic questions when it came to e-commerce. For example, what day of the week should you send an email to the user? What time of the day should you send an email? How should you rank your hotels, for example? So now when you go and search for a hotel on Make My Trip or any other portal, it's very, for you, it's very intuitive. You have all the filters and everything on the sites. You can filter for what you are looking for. But back in 2011, we were trying to answer very basic questions in e-commerce. For example, how should I rank my hotels? On my first page, how many premium properties should be there? How many budget properties should be shown? Because 85% people don't go beyond the first page. What kind of filter should we have? So it used to be pretty exciting, getting people to come and transact online. So very, very exciting work there for some time. Then I joined the Wadia family as chief of staff to Jay Wadia. I joined as his EA or COS to Jay, looking after the aviation business. That's Go Airlines. Again, very exciting, moving from a multinational company to a old Indian family house who had a very different way of doing things. Very exciting, learned a lot from those guys. For example, I used to attend board meetings over there. We have people like Ishat Hussain, Vinita Bali, those guys on a board. So just in being there with those guys in the same room used to be an experience in itself. Again, worked on many exciting things over there. For example, we were the first LCC in India to launch a business class in India, wherein we used to give the middle seat vacant, and it was very flexible for us as a company as well, because during peak season when there was higher demand for seats on the plane, you can very much sell the seat as an economy seat. During lean season when your planes are always empty, there would be some seats which are vacant, so you would sell the seat as a business class seat and keep the middle seat vacant. So a lot of exciting things over there. Over time also began to look after Bombay and business, began to look after some of their personal investments. After that, the startup bug bit me, so I joined Snapdeal.
Okay.
I joined as COS to Kunal Behel, the founder of the company. This is back in 2014, a couple of months before SoftBank came on board as an investor.
Okay.
This is before the term unicorn came into being.
Which year was it?
This was 2014.
Okay.
So again, very exciting.
Very early.
Yes. So in fact, so when they made an offer to me, there were I think 1,200 odd employees in the company. When I joined them in about 1.5 odd months, they were 1,800 people.
Okay.
And
And
after
was this before Amazon, Flipkart, or?
So Flipkart was already there, but
Okay.
Amazon had not entered the Indian market. They were planning to
Okay.
enter the Indian market. I think they had put the team together over here, and so because 2014 Diwali, Amazon was nowhere to be seen. 2015 Diwali is when Amazon was a small player in the market. They were number 3 player in the market after Flipkart and Snapdeal. 2016 is when they became a formidable player in the Indian e-commerce landscape. So Amazon was not really in the scene. It was mainly Flipkart and Snapdeal back in 2014. So very exciting again. So e-commerce being a very, very new industry in India. One of the torchbearers of the startup ecosystem over here. So yeah, we were trying to do a lot of things with this. So I joined. So when they made an offer, they were 1,200 odd people. By the time I joined them, they were 1,800 people. In 1 year, we went from 1,800 people to more than 12,000 odd people, and these are all white collar employees, people who are from IIT, IIM. I'm not counting people from call centers or any other.
This does not include the customer experience team.
These are all proper either techies or business guys.
Okay.
Majority of them would be IIT, IIM, so or other Ivy League colleges. So very exciting. We literally have been a part of conversations where we would hire senior people, and even before the senior guy joins, they would have hired a 50-member team to join along with. So and that's the pace at which we were growing. So yeah, quite exciting. So spent about 4.5 years over there looking after a bunch of things. And then I moved back to Gurgaon. I joined fintech. I joined Clicks Capital in the fintech space. And then COVID happened. So we were not really lending any new money. We tried acquiring Lakshmi Vilas Bank, which did not go through. So then after some time, I joined Kardeko. I was working with Amit Jain. I was looking after all partnerships, Corpcom, and customer centricity at a group level. So did that for 3.5 odd years. And then, after that, SaveSage. So while I've been a corporate slave for 17 odd years, also at my heart, I've always been a person who plans all his expenses, all his credit cards, everything in a very diligent fashion. So one day I decided, why not do it for the world? Because, I've always been that person for all my friends and family, all the people in my network, they turn to every time they need to make a big purchase, they need to do their travel, or they need to get a card. भाई कोई deal है तो बता दे भाई कौन सा card लूँ, right?
Yes.
And all of us, we have such an individual in our life, right? Someone you turn to every time you need to make a big purchase. भाई कोई deal है तो बता दे. So I've always been that person. So I said, why not do it for the world? Why not build a platform out? This is a genuine requirement where people struggle with optimization of their cards, their loyalty programs, everything, right? So why not do it for the world? So began working on SaveSage, and yeah.
How did you turn from a Bania family to a corporate employee? Because generally in Bania family there's that mindset ना कि गल्ले पे जाके बैठना है.
तो गल्ला नहीं था ना बैठने के लिए.
And how did you then turn from corporate, working 17-18 years in corporate, and then a startup? What was the shift like, and what was the problem statement that you thought ki this is a good problem statement, now I need to work upon and leave this senior profile job?
So there were a bunch of factors over here. To begin with, like you mentioned, बनिया है तो धंधा तो खून में ही. So I think I've always been keen to do something of my own because I've seen my father run his own shop. Like I told you earlier, I used to rush off after college and really help him out. So I've always been keen to do something of my own. Secondly, working with people like Kunal, Amit Jain, and all these guys, you become an average of all the people you spend time with. It. So working with all these entrepreneurs always. It inspired me a lot, and I was always been really keen to do something of my own as well, right? So that was the second trigger, right? Working with all these people, and you always have that burning desire कि भाई खुद का करना है मुझे भी. Thirdly, like I said, I've always been the person, all the people in my friends and family, people in my network, they turn to every time they need to make any travel booking, they need to get a card or they need to make a big purchase, trying to get some insights on how can they optimize things, right? If I talk about myself, I've not paid for an air ticket in more than 7, 8 years. I've not paid for hotel in more than 5 years. That's more than 350 flights. That's more than 9 international trips, more than 100 hotel nights. We've come to a point where we bought jewelry worth probably 15, 20 lakh rupees in the last 3 years using nothing but credit card reward points. So I've been planning all my expenses, all my credit cards, my loyalty in a very diligent fashion. And I decided why not do it for the world, because there's a genuine problem that people face. Now, if you look at the credit card landscape in India, if we were to talk about numbers in India right now, so this was the trigger for the idea that why not do this. Now, if I have to look at things from a purely number perspective, right, because you can't do something based on a hunch कि ये करना है, ये वो अच्छा लग रहा है, right? Now, once I decide this is something I want to explore, then you get down to look at the numbers. Now, if you look at the Indian credit card landscape, India today, as we speak, we have about 11 crore credit cards in circulation. That's 110 million credit cards in circulation in India across 75 million unique card holders.
Okay.
Now, that is only about 5 to 5.5% credit card penetration in India, compared to more than 70% in US, about 67% in UK, even more than 40% in China. So India is way down when it comes to credit card penetration. That's point number one. If you look at number of cards per person in India, we have only 0.08 credit cards per person. So India has a population of 1.5 billion and we have about 11 crore credit cards in circulation right now. So you only have about 0.07 to 0.08 cards in circulation for each citizen.
And what is this
if you
for
compare
US?
this with US, you have 3.8 credit cards. So you see where we are compared to the US market, right?
There's a huge delta.
Yes, so there's a significant underpenetration when it comes to cards in India. In fact, I would say there's a significant underpenetration when it comes to credit in India, right? So people, and with more and more awareness, with more and more people knowing about credit cards and how to use cards and how can they really benefit from credit cards, that's one. So of course there's this significant underpenetration. Secondly, there's a lot of awareness that people have now, where people know how can they use credit cards in the right manner, how can they get more benefits from their cards, how can they use it to manage their working capital cycle, for example, right? So there is a significant awareness that is going on. You have so many influencers posting a lot of videos on social media where they talk about how to use cards in the right manner. So there used to be unawareness. Now slowly people are becoming more and more aware. They are becoming more and more curious. They want to get cards. Thirdly, the entire financial ecosystem in India has also evolved. So you have more and more banks issuing credit cards in India. You have, in fact, you have a bunch of private card companies.
Yes.
Who, some of them are also unicorns, for example, who don't even have a license of their own. They depend on a bank to issue the credit card in the background.
Okay, so they partner up with a bank in order to issue a credit card.
So even they, there's so much of underpenetration when it comes to credit cards in India. So there are a bunch of private card companies. For example, you have One Card, you have Scapia, you have Unicard. So, and they're doing an amazingly good job, all of them, right? So you have a bunch of these companies where they tie with the bank and they issue cards to users. Now, the moot point that I'm trying to make over here is that there's significant underpenetration when it comes to credit cards. There is a lot of demand from consumers, such that you even have these private companies which are issuing cards and they're becoming super big in the market, right? So that was the third point, that
There's a gap
under penetration, there's a gap out there. People want to get cards. There are banks who want to issue cards. So yeah, so and then eventually, why did people did not have cards earlier? Is because you do not have a proper financial history.
Okay.
Credit card is nothing but unsecured debt. So someone is giving you debt and hoping that you will return the money. Now, if I have to give you debt, then I need to look at your credit score. I need to look at your repayment history and all of that. Unfortunately, a lot of people in India were not really paying taxes or filing their taxes on an annual basis. A lot of people did not really have a credit score. So there was no way for a bank to really know if Yash or surely are credit worthy or not, should I give them a credit card or not? Now with more and more people filing their taxes on time, more and more people having a proper credit score, it's also become easier for a bank to issue you a credit card. So now, and that is one of the significant reasons why more and more people are able to get a card right now. And finally, things, for example, like a lot of innovation when it comes to product as well. So you couldn't get a secured credit card maybe 2 years back or 3 years back, but now you can very much, even if you have a very bad credit score, you can go to a bank, some of the banks, not all of them, you can open an FD and you can get a credit card against your FD, where you don't even need a credit score or anything. So a lot of product innovation as well. So when you put all these factors together, it's very clear that the market is only expanding. More and more people are getting cards. So for me, while more and more people are getting cards, while more and more people want to get cards, while more and more banks want to issue cards, right? There is a significant gap between you as a user and the product. So let me probably give you an example. So what does Google do? Google is a layer between you as a user and millions and millions of websites out there, right? Google by itself would have a couple of websites, but otherwise they don't really own any information. What they really do is they know you as a user and they get you the right information, right? And you depend on Google to go and get all the information and make sense of it and show you the information, which ChatGPT is also doing right now, right? Similarly, SaveSage tells you which is the right card for you, how to use that card in the right manner, how to get the right number of reward points, how to use your benefits on the card in the right manner. So we tell you, we enable you to get maximum value from your credit cards. So think of us as the layer between you as a user and the thousands and thousands of cards out there, loyalty programs out there, because no one is really telling you how to use your cards or which is the right card for you and how can you really optimize. So we are that layer like a Google, where we tell you what to do, what not to do, and how can you get the right benefits from everything.
And along the same lines, people are getting a lot of benefits from these cards. So could you tell us about some very interesting benefits of certain cards that people in different age groups should use? So for example, college students, everyone thinks that if you need to be able to book a flight, then you need to spend an X amount, which is a very large amount, to get those points. So is there any barrier that you can break for us?
See, there are, like I said, there are thousands of cards being issued in India right now. You have the cashback cards where you get a certain value back as money in your card statement. Then you have airline credit cards, for example, where you can get airline benefits, free tickets and everything. And even within airline cards, you can have multiple ways of getting that benefit. So you may get a voucher on spending a certain amount of money on the card, or you may be getting airline miles, which you can further redeem for airline tickets. So there are multiple ways you can get an airline benefit as well. You have hotel credit cards. You have open credit cards where you get the credit card reward points, which you can further redeem for a lot of options, including airlines or hotels or even cashback. So each and every individual is unique in their own way. No two individuals have the same spends profile. Someone may be spending a lot of money on one category, another person may be spending on another category or another merchant. The quantum of spends vary from one person to another. So one person may be spending 5,000 on Swiggy in a year, another person may be spending 15K. The benefits they want would also differ from person to person. Someone may want a flight ticket, someone may want a hotel. So it's really difficult to really, and personally, I really refrain from doing so, because I know a lot of influencers out there who try and generalize things for people. But I think that's where a lot of mistakes also happen, because people tend to see these videos and they go and apply for the card without really thinking if it's the right card for them. And I have many such stories from my users where they did something because they saw an influencer video and it was not the right thing to do. But the point is, to answer your question, so it's very subjective. It's very subjective. If I have to talk about folks who are probably 19, 20 years old, in your case, you will not be eligible for a lot of credit cards, because some of the premium cards are there, they need you to have a certain eligibility. In terms of age, for example, some of the cards would want you to be 21 years old or 25 years old as well. They would want you to have a certain bare minimum income to become eligible for certain cards. And then there are lots of TNCs. You need to probably be spending a certain amount of money to get the annual fees waived off and this and that. The best bet for you guys would be, maybe if your parents use a card, if they don't use a card, make sure they get the right card for themselves. You can probably get an add-on card on their credit card. You can use that card. just to make sure you're using the right card and getting the right benefits, and make sure that you redeem their points in the right manner as well. And while you do that, I would also say begin your credit card journey as early as possible. So probably get an entry level card, because that's what you guys would be able to get. Get an entry level card and begin your journey from there. So for example, one of the cards which you guys can probably look at is for example, again, it depends upon what you want to do, but I was talking to someone from MUSB. The person plays golf.
Okay.
And I told the person, why don't you get a Swiggy card? Because the person being a student, you can't really get a lot of premium cards. But if you play golf, and one golf lesson can cost you a few $1,000, right? Swiggy HDFC card is a mass card. It's a free card, but it does give you golf benefits. And then if you order online on Swiggy, you get 10% cashback. So that becomes a lot of savings, right? So then that becomes a very good card for someone who's probably 20 years old, who wants to get a card where you will be eligible for the card, which rewards you for the expenses. I'm assuming you guys would be spending on Swiggy and ordering in and all of that. So you get 10% cashback over there. And then finally, if once in a while you feel like playing golf, you can go and play golf as well. But like I said, it really depends, right? So if you're someone who doesn't play golf, then maybe this is not the right card for you, right? Because in this case, in this person's use case, he'll end up using the card to play golf a couple of times in a year. So that's a few $1,000 of saving right away, right? So it really depends on what is correct, right for you, what is not. Yep.
So you have a model on SaveSage to the Savvy AI
Yep.
system. So over there, people can come and discuss what their income expenditure looks like, and you recommend cards based on that. So you've trained the model on some data points. What kind of data points do you pick up? And there's always a privacy issue, at least when it comes to financial data. So how do you handle that? And is there any government regulations that come in between?
So I'll answer. So these are three questions actually in one. So I'll begin with the data security and privacy part. To begin with, we undergo annual audits by multinational companies. So for example, we are TAC security certified. It's a multinational company which conducts audit on an annual basis on behalf of Google. So we are compliant with all of it. We follow the Indian data protection law as well. So we are compliant with that as well. In fact, we would be in the top 1 percentile in India when it comes to user security, data security and privacy in India. We follow all the security guidelines. We follow all the data privacy laws. That's one. We are backed by marquee investors. So for example, ICED, which is a US-based institutional investor, is an investor in the company. We have Dr. Shriram Nene. We have Dr. Bhavesh Gupta. We have Mr. Bhavesh Gupta, who is a former number 2 at Paytm, and he's a senior professional from ICICI Bank and IDFC First Bank. So we have many marquee investors on our cap table. We make sure that for these guys, the user data security and privacy is at the top of everything that we do, right? So we make sure that we follow bank grade security when it comes to user data. We are compliant with the US data protection laws as well. Since ICD is an investors, we have to follow all the laws. So your data is very, very secure at SaveSage to begin with. Secondly, just to share with you guys, in fact, we are actually solving a data security issue in many ways. A lot of people, what they were doing right now, they go to various forums on various communities, and they were posting their personal information that they are planning to do ABC, XYZ, they have XYZ card, and what they should be doing, what they should not be doing. Now, you don't really have to go and paste your information in public in trying to get some insights or get someone to guide you. Here, you are doing everything in a very, very secure
and we are also not sure if that the guidance provided in public is correct
because the person is not accountable. And finally, we don't even take any classified information. The only thing we ask you for is which credit cards you have, the type of the card. We are not asking you for credit card information. We are not asking you for the card number. So we only need to know whether which card you have. For example, you may say, I have a Swiggy HDFC credit card. That is what I need to know from you as a user, and I'll be able to guide you. Of course, I need to know for certain cards, I'll ask you for how many reward points you have, but you can manually edit the number of reward points. So that's not really. So if you don't feel comfortable in sharing anything, you don't have to. You simply have to just select the card type of card you have and enter the number of reward points you have over there.
Okay, and how does SaveSage give me an outcome based on that? What metrics are covered?
So I'll talk about Savvy since you spoke about. So So we have a bunch of functionalities on the application. Savvy is one of the many functionalities on the application. What can you do on Savvy today? So I'll give you two things. What can you do on Savvy today, and where would Savvy be in 6 months? So today, when you go to Savvy, so if you are someone who has a lot of credit cards and you're not really sure which card to use, where to use it, and you have all your credit cards entered on the type of cards entered on the SaveSage application. So Savvy would tell you which card to use where. So for example, if you want to spend 10,000 on Swiggy and you have 10 cards with you, so you're not really sure which card will give you the right benefit, right? Or the best benefit. Savvy would tell you which card to use. It will also quantify the benefits, the amount of benefit you'll get over there. Secondly, you can check all the airport benefits that you can get on the. So for example, if you're traveling from Delhi and you want to know if you will get lounge access on any of your cards at a particular lounge, you can go and check it on Savvy. You can check, for example, if you can get complimentary spa at the airport, right? So if any of your cards will give you complimentary spa, you can check if you have a meet and greet, and you can filter it down by the airport, the terminal, the different lounges over there, the different spas over there, anything and everything when it comes to airport benefits on your card. This is where we are today. Of course, this is day zero for us, and this is not even 2% of what we want to build out. Where we would be in 6 months on Savvy. In 6 months, so if Shelly wants to book an air ticket now, how do you book an air ticket today? You probably go to 3-4 portals. You go to Make My Trip, you go to Go IBB, you spend 10-15 odd minutes in searching for a ticket and looking for which is the best way for you to book the ticket, right?
Yes.
You don't have to do any of it. You go to Savvy. And for example, you search Delhi to Bombay, 1st of June morning. Now, these are three variables we need from you. Now, in the background, our algorithm knows which credit cards does Shelly has, which loyalty programs do you have, how many reward points you have in all of them. We know if the redemption tickets are available or not. We know if the redemption tickets are available, is it a good redemption or not? How much value are you getting per point? Secondly, we know what are the offers running on all the major portals. We know which of those offers can you avail or which you cannot avail. Thirdly, we know your behavior as well, because it's an AI-enabled chat, but it will keep learning more and more about your behavior. So, for example, some user may become FTU, first time user of a new platform, just to say 50 additional rupees. Someone else may not really do so. When you put all of it together, within 30 seconds, the Savvy will tell you, hey Shelly, why don't you redeem 7,500 points on Air India for flight number 902? Redemption tickets are available. You're getting a per point value of 80 paise, which is a very good redemption. Click it to redeem now. Or use your Swiggy HDFC credit card on Make My Trip to get 10% discount up to 1,000 rupees, plus you get reward points worth 2%. Or so it knows you and it tells you what to do or not to do, and we'll have a lot of such use cases, right? So this is a very basic use case, a travel use case, but then we'll keep building more and more use cases over there. So it makes your life simple. You don't really have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything, but it tells you the right way, the best way to do something. And it's a bespoke way of doing things, right? So I'm not giving all five of us, for example, people in this room, the same answer. I'll tell you what is relevant for you. Maybe Yash, for example, is someone who is okay downloading a new application just to get 50 additional rupees benefit, right? So for him, the answer would be, hey, download so-and-so application, then use so-and-so card and do this and that. Because then this is a benefit which you can get over
It's very customizable to the person using.
That's where we would be, right? And we'll keep adding more and more use cases. For example, in a few weeks, you would also be able, for example, if you need to book a movie ticket. A lot of people I know struggle a lot, right? Where do they get 1+1? Where do they get 25% off or whatever? You go to Savvy, you simply say, hey, I need to book a movie ticket, and then it will tell you if you have a 1+1 offer, if you have any offer on any of your cards, on which platform, and what can be done, what cannot be done. So that's what we really want to build out. Think of it as an assistant to really guide you what to do or not to do in the best possible manner, so you can get the right value from everything, from all your expenses.
And no other service like SaveSage existed before you guys came. So how did you create a market of your own? How did you educate people ki this is a problem and this is how it can be solved?
See, the problem has always been there. It's only getting bigger with more and more people using credit cards, and there being more awareness about this. People have tried solving this problem in some shape and form earlier as well, globally and in India. But so far, no one has been able to solve this in the right way. Even today, as we speak, I'm sure there would be hundreds of companies trying to solve this problem in some shape and form, right? The way we are trying to solve this, I don't know of any other company which are trying to solve this in the same way. For example, in our case, we've taken a hybrid approach. So you have the platform which you can use on the application. At the same time, you can also talk to an expert. So you can schedule a session on the application where you would have an expert like me, someone who will be do a video session with you. You can ask any questions. The person will be able to guide you on all your expenses on your cards and everything. Because a lot of people, according to me, are not able to optimize their cards or not able to do this because they want to talk to someone. Let's, for example, assume that you want to buy a car. Now, you will not buy a car using a particular card or in a particular fashion. Basis what an application tells you. You want to talk to a human. You want to talk to someone who can walk you through the numbers, who can really guide you, right? And that's where you need human intervention because it gives you a lot of comfort. So let me give you some analogy over here. Equity markets. Now, all of us know, and it's a fairly known thing. You talk to a layman, the person will tell you that he or she knows that if you invest in equity markets in mid to long term, you end up making money, right? But then you have three sets of people out there, or rather four sets of people. The first person would doesn't want to invest in equities. Well, this is not for me. I cannot do this. I cannot handle the pressure or whatever. So, which is fine, right? And the person is okay on missing out all the benefits. He knows that I will miss out on returns, which is okay with me. Then you have people who say that they would invest money on their own. They would do their own research and they would invest money in the market. Maybe the capital which they want to invest is not significant enough, or maybe they don't trust anyone and they want to do their own research. So these guys will go to money control. They'll join various forums. They'll talk to people around. They'll ask people around what should I invest in, and they will at the end of it invest on their own. They don't need any expertise, any external expertise or help. Then you have people who say, the third set of people who say that they know they want to invest money in equities and they have money which they can, but they don't have the expertise, they don't have the capability. So they go to a mutual fund guy and they say, I'm okay paying you 1.5% annually, and they'll invest money in the mutual fund. They let the expert do the work for them, right? And then you have the fourth set of people who invest a lot of money. So these are high net worth individuals who probably have a wealth manager. Who will sit down with you, who will make a proper plan for you, who will help you out. Similarly, when it comes to credit cards, you would have people who don't care about cards, who don't want to use cards, and who don't want to optimize anything, which is fine. Then you have people who will say, I will do everything myself. So I'll go to social media, I'll do research, I'll go through tons and tons of material, I'll spend a few hours on a monthly basis or weekly basis trying to go through everything, take a lot of cognitive load, but I'll do it myself. So, and then you have the third set of people who are okay taking a subscription, talking to an expert who will help them out, and then you have different kinds of subscription. So if you're someone who spends a lot of money on cards, who needs a lot of experts, so then you have fall in the fourth bucket.
Okay, yeah.
So then you get a dedicated relationship manager. So SaveSage can be used by 2, 3, and 4. So if you want to do everything yourself, come to my platform, use the platform, do it yourself. You have all the information out there. You can use the chatbot. You can use a lot of tools on the application. You can pay your bills and everything, which is fine, right? If you fall in the third bucket, you want some expertise, you can go for an entry-level plan where you can talk to an expert maybe twice a year, and the person will help you out, plan everything, and you can do that. And then if you're someone who spends a lot of money, who has a lot of expenses, who travels a lot, so then you want more and more support, then you can go for higher plan where you get unlimited sessions or you get a dedicated relationship manager. Apart from all the tools. So ये तो आप समझ गए कि हम क्या करना चाह रहे हैं analogy के through. अब why do we need a human, like I told you? Because at times we will feel comfortable that a person is there.
And money is a very personal or sensitive
thing. Let me give you another analogy over here, a banking application. Which banks do you guys bank with?
HDFC for me. HDFC and IndusInd.
HDFC and Axis for me.
Axis का लेते हैं. So Axis के लिए they have more than probably 25-30 different kinds of bank accounts. At the base they would have an entry level bank account wherein you don't have to maintain any minimum balance with those guys. It's a digital only plan where you don't get access to anything. You simply download the application, use the application to follow your banking needs. On the other end of the spectrum, they have a burgundy private user, where the person has to maintain a 5 CR relationship value with the bank, right? दोनों आप तो सेम ही यूज करते हो, right? And then you have this 33 different kinds of bank accounts in between. All 35 people use 35 different types of consumers use the same application, right?
Yes.
the person who is a Burgundy private user also has a relationship manager based on the relationship value, who is available to answer any query that they may have, any support which they may need. But at the end of it, this person is using the same application. Similarly, in our case, we are working on an application, we are making it so and so advanced with more and more features in the application that all the people can do everything, anything and everything on the application. But if you want to talk to someone, then there is a relationship manager as long as you are willing to pay for the same. बैंक के अंदर भी जो Burgundy private user है, at the end of it वो जाके transaction तो app पे ही करेगा.
Sure.
So how I got to know about SaveSage was there was an event happening at my college, and Arjun Vaidya was there as a judge. So there was one student pitching a problem statement about credit cards and loyalty programs, and then Arjun told ki he has been using SaveSage for quite a long time and how SaveSage has helped him. So what does the customer profile for SaveSage look like? Is it only wealthy people, or what different kinds of consumers do you have?
See, anyone who has a credit card in India can actually use SaveSage. So we don't really confine ourselves to a particular type of a user. So anyone who has a credit card can use SaveSage application because we have multiple use cases on the platform. If nothing else, you can simply pay your credit card bill on a monthly basis on the application. You also would want to see the benefits on your credit card which you have, so you can do all of that on the platform. If I have to say an ICP, an ICP in my mind would be someone who earns anywhere between 10 lakh rupees to someone who earns between 10 lakh rupees to 1.5 crores. Because once you are earning 10 lakh rupees, then you would have a credit card, you would also be spending some amount of money. There would also be some discretionary expenses happening, right up to 1.5 crores. Once we go beyond 1.5 crores, then you may not really care a lot about the reward points and everything, although we have a lot of people who we have a lot of ultra high net worth individuals who use our platform who are private consumers. And because no one likes to leave money on the table. But ICP would be anywhere between anyone earning 10 lakh rupees to 1.5 crores.
But why do you think these ultra HNIs need to optimize their credit card points?
यार पैसे बचा के तो सबको ही अच्छा लगता है. So there's a delight which you feel when you don't have to pay for something. So it's not really about the money at times, it's more about the feeling, right? Maslow's hierarchy. So one of our users, in fact I can take his name. So Pratik, for example, the influencer Learn app. So he put it in a very good way. So he said that यार मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि when you guys help me save money, so it's not about the value that I really care about, but ऐसा लगता है कि किसी ने कपड़े धो के सुखाए थे और जेब में से पैसे गिनने लग गए. So that's the way he puts it कि भाई I did not know there was money in my pocket. I was not aware of the same. And when money began to fall, it suddenly feels so good.
Very good example.
So that's the way he put it. Ki which is fair, right? Because we don't preach, we don't tell you what to do or not to do. We simply tell you if you're doing something, how to do it in a more efficient manner so you can get more value out of it. So let's talk about the Swiggy example. So if you're someone, so it's two of you, right? So both of you order on Swiggy. Now Yash pays via UPI. You use your CV HDFC credit card. You both order food worth 10,000 rupees in a month. He ends up paying. So no one has told you anything. No one is pushing you anything. You both order what you want to order. You both are doing what you have to do, right? He ends up paying 10,000 rupees. Shelly gets 1,000 rupees cashback. So for the same thing, she ends up paying only 9,000 rupees. So of course she is smarter. She feels good about everything. So that's the entire thing, right? So if you're spending money and if you can get more value out of it, why not do so, right? If you're not doing it, then you're leaving money on the table. You're being a fool.
Have you seen any notable patterns between two parts of the question? One would be between high net worth and high net worth individuals and say college students like us, patterns in expenditure or what they want to prioritize and things like that. And the second would be when someone is assessing their card, what kind of benefits would they prioritize? So same way both of these questions I linked.
See, so the underlying human behavior remains the same in both the cases. The underlying human behavior being that you want to get more value from any expense that you're doing. Now, how do they differ? A college student versus probably say an HNI or anyone who's say for example has been earning. So there would be different elasticities that they may have. A college student may want to optimize even when he or she is spending 50 bucks.
Okay.
So if you're paying 50 bucks to a local chai wala, for example, you would want to know probably how can I save 5 rupees over there. A person, let's say a CEO of a company may not really care about optimization of small expenses on the go. He or she may only care about if you're buying a car. That's when he or she may reach out to us and say, what should I do? He or she may not really want to have a lot of credit cards with them. They may only want to have probably 1 or 2 cards and use the same card on an ongoing basis, because for them having more cards or thinking for each and every transaction is probably a lot of cognitive load, a lot of distraction. So what I'm trying to say is that every individual is unique in their own elasticity. When I say elasticity, at what point, at what price point, at what expenditure would they want to begin optimization?
Yes, exactly.
And as we talked about, this was a new market that you were building up from scratch. What were some early challenges that you faced while building SaveSage?
We continue to face, I mean, in fact, we are way too early. Just like day -1, actually, not even 0. See, it's a very new concept. So one,
Yes.
definitely getting, trying to explain it to people. So as to what we are trying to do, how it would add value to them. So, and this is across stakeholders. So, for example, if you go and talk to a consumer, so you really have to tell them what we will do for them. You know, because all of us, we've been fed a lot of information about credit cards and about all of this in our life, right? For example, if I go and talk to my father, he thinks of credit cards as a very bad thing because वो खर्चा ज़्यादा होता है, loan हो जाता है, ये है. So, and trying to make sense with him that this is something which can actually help you get a lot of reward points and manage your working capital in a much better way is a task. So, and उसके बाद में अगर आप ये बोलोगे I can get you 6-7%, so लोग बोलते पागल है क्या? So trying to make sense to people as to this is something which can be done because there is so much of unawareness. Even people who are very literate, who have a lot of knowledge, even they think that you can't really get value. People feel you, for example, when it comes to flights, you need to probably take 100 odd flights to get one flight free. But it doesn't work that way. So there's a lot of misconception, there's a lot of misinformation out there, so making people aware कि ये ऐसा होता है. उसके बाद में, you know, because we also have to make money out of something, right? इंडिया में सबको ये लगता है कि मुझे तो सब कुछ पता है. People feel I can go, I can watch one YouTube video and I would know which is a right card and what to do or not to do. So making people aware that ऐसे काम नहीं होता and you need an expert to be involved, an expert to really guide you on what to do or not to do. So that becomes a challenge in getting people to pay for something like this. So I've worked in multiple industries and ये इंडिया की challenge है. कैसे insurance में I used to work in insurance for some time. When you go and tell a person, sir, you will give you health insurance cover, everyone bloody feels you're Superman. मुझे क्या होने वाला है? And it's really difficult to make sense to them that this is for someday, for rainy day, if something happens and you need some insurance cover. But people are like, मुझे क्या होने वाला है? And the person may have had a heart attack a year back. मुझे क्या होने वाला है? ठीक है, I don't need insurance. Similarly, for example, equity markets, you go and talk to people, मुझे सब कुछ पता है, मैं म्यूचुअल फंड को 1.5% नहीं दूंगा, वो भी तो रिलायंस के अंदर डालेगा, रिलायंस मैं खरीद दूंगा. Similarly for credit cards, when I go and talk to people, when you tell them that this is the way we will help you, मुझे सब कुछ पता है, मैं 2 वीडियो देख लूंगा, मुझे सब. Why should I have you guys on board? Why should I pay you guys a subscription, right? So that's been a problem. But having said that, what we've also seen is that we have this early set of believers. For example, you spoke about Arjun, right? So he came on board as a user. He heard about us from somewhere. He came on board as a user. He's very happy. He's actually gone out and he speaks about us at so many places, right? Because he knows the value which you can add as a platform. And that's why he was good enough, kind enough to mention about us even at a college event. So now we see, we have that initial base of users who are going out and talking about us. So that's helping us get more and more people on board. In fact, just to share some numbers with you, for the month of May, and we are doing this in June, so for the month of May, almost 33% of our consumer users came through referral.
Okay.
On our application, 33% people came through referral. So that's playing a big part for us. Of course, we have to go a lot deeper, but the initial set of people are helping us out. Influencers pushing out a lot of content are helping us, but also not helping us. So while they're creating a lot of awareness, but they're also giving people that illusion that I can just go watch a video in 2 minutes. But that's not the way it works. I can talk about so many. In fact, without naming a person, we were talking about a credit card influencer before we started this off, right? The conversation. Now that person calls himself a credit card influencer, but he's also done a lot of paid advertisements on his social media handles. If you go and see, so where it may or may not be the right card for a consumer, but this guy comes and says you should get this card, use my referral link. So there's so much of biased information, so much of incorrect information out there
that is being spread.
Yes. So when we see people are, and unfortunately there is no industry, there is no regulator to really regulate all of this. So for example, you had the financial influencers, influencers
SEBI to regulate them.
Yes. So who were spreading a lot of misinformation. Then SEBI came in that you cannot do this. But when it comes to credit cards, you don't have anyone saying you should not be saying this. We have people, for example, just 2 days back, I was talking to a consumer, and then this user came to us. He had paid 5,000 rupees for a credit card. So he saw a video from an influencer who told him that you get free launch access, unlimited launch access if you have this credit card. Now this user who is in his late 40s, and he has his own business, so he doesn't really travel at all, by the way.
Okay.
But just the allure of getting a free launch access, he applied for the card, he got the card. The influencer did not mention that there is a fee of 5,000 rupees on the card plus GST.
For each launch access?
No, for the card.
Achha, for the card, okay.
So this user applied for the card without knowing there is a fee, and he simply just went by what the influencer said. He got the card, and then when the statement came for the first month, there was a fee.
5,000 rupees deducted.
Yeah. And now this guy is all over the place. He spoke with the banking guys. They said, boss, you signed a form and it's clearly mentioned in the form. And his point is no one reads the form. But he has to pay. Now, for a launch access, which he may never take, he is paying 5,000 rupees plus taxes for the card, which is ridiculous.
Absolutely.
He can't even go back and hold the influencer accountable. And the influencer probably got a few $1,000 as commission
or something.
As an affiliate.
And we're talking about early users. So how did you get your first 100 users or the early adopters? And how did you validate your MVP?
See, in our case, I was fortunate enough, like I told you, so a lot of people had already known me. Someone who's very passionate about credit cards and loyalty programs. So when I decided to do something in this space, there was an initial set of 100, 150 odd people who signed up.
Okay.
Of course, we didn't really take money from those guys, but I wanted to make sure that we are able to validate what we were building on. So we had this initial set of people who came on board, and which did help us learn a lot about user behavior as well, what to do or not to do. And so I think, and then there was no looking back. We've been building out ever since. We've done a lot of things here or there, but today as we speak, we have more than 75,000 people who are using our platform.
Okay. And how does a young student like us start building up his credit score? How does he maintain a good credit score? And how will that credit score help him in future further?
See, to begin with, and I'm assuming most of you people would not have any credit score to begin with. So it's always advisable to begin with maybe entry-level card where you may get a 10,000, 15,000 limit.
Okay.
There are many companies or there are many banks out there which is also going after this segment, giving you an entry-level card with very low benefits, but trying to tap into this segment early on. You can also go for an FD-backed secured credit card. Once you get that, this will really help you build your history. And then over time, as your income goes up, as your awareness goes, as your usage goes up, you can go for premium cards where you get more benefits. Having a good credit score does help you in a lot many ways. Every time you have to go and get a card, you have to go and get a loan or anything whatsoever. Credit score is what really determines if you will get the loan or not, if you will get the card or not, if you will get even if you get a loan, what rate of interest would you be paying on this? Because a lot of banks have criterias wherein they have differential rates for differential users based on their credit score. credit score is also by each passing day becoming more and more critical beyond credit as well,
In what
beyond
way?
loans. So, for example, a lot of insurance companies nowadays, when they have to give you a claim, they look at your credit score.
Okay.
So what happens if you go for a cashless facility? So an insurance company may say that if a person has a good credit score, for example, if you have a score of more than 750 or more than 800, then this guy belongs to a certain reliable user base, and I can trust the person, and I can give him or her a claim versus someone who has a score of 600, for example, because then that makes you an unreliable user. There is a higher possibility of a fraud happening in that case.
Okay.
So there are many such use cases where credit score is becoming more and more prominent for you, because it tells you about the repayment behavior of a person, or in some cases, as a few people say, even the integrity of a person, because it is nothing but a repayment behavior. So, I mean, building on the same example of an insurance company. So, if I'm an insurance company and if uh, I have two claims to be settled, one person has a 600 score, the another person has a 800 score. So, I know that the 800 score person has higher integrity because he or she has been paying their bills on time, generally. So, I can take a chance in pass your claim versus another person
Another
who
person
has a
has a
lower score. And there can be many things. I mean, I've read articles in papers where people are checking the credit score of another person before finalizing their marriage. There are scenarios where people are saying that for visa processing, some of the countries may look at your credit score as well, because it tells you whether you are credible enough
credible
or
enough or
not.
not.
And if you can pay for your vacation, if you can pay for your whatever trip or anything that you plan to do over there, if you can pay for it yourself or not. So there are many new emerging use cases of a credit score. So it's always good to begin early and keep building on it.
How do you pay for hotels?
I don't pay for hotels. I mean, just to give you some context over here, in the last 7-8 years, we would have taken more than 350 domestic flights, most of them premium economy and business, between me and my family. We haven't paid for any of them. More than 9 international trips. We went to Paris, we've gone to Bali, Singapore multiple times, Malaysia, Thailand, New Zealand, Italy. We've not paid for flights for any of those places. Most of the places we did not even pay for hotels, more than 100 hotel nights. So yeah, we don't pay for anything. We only pay the tax component, the bare minimum component, and I make sure that I use the right card to get 10 to 15% even on the tax component. So yeah, I mean, uh, I don't pay for flights.
So, could you tell us about one of your domestic travels that you used just your points on?
So we went to Goa a few months back for my son's birthday. So three of us, we flew from Delhi. So we flew business class. We had Mahesh Bhupati for company. My 2-year-old son, really troubling him all throughout. But yeah, so 3 business class seats, we did not pay for them. All of them were through redemption. We flew back premium economy. Again, we did not pay for the tickets.
Okay.
We stayed for 4 nights at ITC Grand Resort, which is one of the most premium
Yes.
properties in Goa. All of it through redemption. So we would have paid, I guess, probably 3 or 4,000 for 4 nights. We, I'm a culinary member, so the cake for my son's birthday was through the culinary membership, so did not pay for that. The membership was paid for using points, by the way, as well. As a culinary member, we got 50% off on a couple of meals. We got 25% discount on other meals. The amount was paid using points again. So I think that was a vacation. If we had paid in cash, probably 2.5 lakh rupees for 4 nights, 4 nights and 5 days. We paid, I guess, probably 25,000 in cash because we had to pay for the car, right? So we took a car, so we had to pay for the car in cash, and a couple of places where we ate outside. So while I always make sure to use the right card and use Easy Dine and other applications to cut the bill, but you have to pay some cash, right? So yeah, and yeah, I had to pay for the casino entry. They wouldn't give me chips for
For points.
yes. So yeah, but yeah, amazing trip. Like I said, the very fact that we paid for the cake using points made it extra sweet.
You were recently traveling, I guess, And how did you optimize your credit card rewards there?
So I just came back from a trip to Bali.
Okay.
In fact, and sorry because of which we were not able to do this earlier.
No worries.
So this was a long planned vacation.
Okay.
I think we spent a week in Bali, 7 nights in Bali. I think in cash this would have costed us probably, I think, 5 lakh rupees. But our total cash outgo was less than a lakh rupees, and that too mainly shopping in places where you can't really pay by points. Everything else was using credit card points.
Okay.
So we flew from Delhi. So you have a direct flight from Delhi. So we flew Air India from
Air India,
Delhi.
yes.
So 3 of us return tickets. So through Air India redemption, that's 50,000 points per person return ticket. So 150K points. Plus 16,500 in taxes for 3 people. That's it.
Okay.
We stayed at some of the most fanciest properties over there. So we were there for 7 nights. We initial couple of days we stayed at a Sofitel resort property. We had a amazingly nice room, the top tier room over there. 43,000 per night in Indian currency. I paid $130 apart from points.
130.
So for 2 nights we paid 250, not even 130 actually, 250 something, so less than 130. And remaining 86K were using points, which included spa, which included complimentary champagne in the room. Apart from this, whatever we spent at the hotel, so I'm an Accor Plus member, so since it was the 2 of us, we got 50% off on all our food bills.
Okay.
The remaining 50% was paid using points, of course. We got 20% discount on all our spa. The remaining was paid using points. The highlight was my 3-year-old son getting a 1 hour spa at the beach and paid for using points.
And how long were you planning this trip for? Accumulating the card points?
No. So in my case, because I have the right cards and I use them in the right manner, these are some of the premium cards. So which ends up giving me almost, if not more, 15 to 17% benefit.
Okay.
So if I have to say for something like if I paid for 4 lakh rupees worth of things using my reward points, maybe 20 lakh rupees worth of spends. That's it. 25 lakh rupees worth of spends. So yeah, so we did everything using points, and then so this was Accor initially, and then we stayed in a Marriott property.
Okay.
Which was again super cool, amazing property, again using points. And in Marriott, you don't even pay taxes, so we didn't even have to pay the $250 either. So yeah, so all in all, an amazingly good trip, like I said, and 5 lakh rupee worth of trip and less than 1 lakh rupee in taxes is what we paid in cash. That too, it had things like visa and those kind of things, so which we had to anyways pay.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you can't pay
for visa using points.
But yes, I did make sure that we got the maximum number of points we could in all those expenses.
And for a young person like us who loves to travel, who loves to go around new places, what is the right credit card should we use?
So it depends on what are you trying to optimize for. Are you trying to optimize for hotels? Are you trying to optimize for flights? Within flights, are you trying to optimize for domestic flights? Are you trying to optimize for international flights? Generally for someone like you, because I've been a backpacker myself, I've traveled a lot solo as well. For someone like you guys, I would say that it's always good to optimize for tickets and not really hotels, because hotels you can always go for. You can put up, for example, in hostels.
Yes.
You can do a lot of things, right? And hotels, the loyalty points become beneficial only once you are, in majority cases, if you're planning to stay in a chain property like a Marriott or Accor or something, which in an early age you don't really care about, right? So flights is something which you can really optimize for.
And what are some cards we should use to optimize for flights?
So you have a ton of cards, right? So for example, you have the Air India cards where you get there would be more than 15-20 different Air India cards in India right now. There were most of them were Vistara cards earlier, now they've Air India cards, but you can of course most of these cards have been devalued and we are waiting the new cards which will come in, but some of these cards are amazingly well, right? So just to give you an idea, I spoke about redeeming my Bali flights, right, with 150,000 points. Now I have an SBI Air India signature card as well, where I got this 150,000 points on only 15 lakh rupee worth of spends. Of course, there are other credit cards which give me a lot more points, so I actually had to spend it. But this is also a card which I have, right? Now, I mean, amazingly good card. You don't have to pay in cash, right? So for someone like you guys, I would always say either optimize for cashbacks or optimize for flight tickets. If travel is what you're aiming for, optimize for tickets. If you want to go for international travel, then you get a card which gives you points or something which you can redeem for international flights. If you want to optimize for domestic, then you can get one of the Air India cards as well. Of course, some of the Air India cards can also help you with international flights.
Yes, absolutely. And talking more about SaveSage, so how do you acquire new customers? Is it only through paid marketing, sales calls? What are the different ways or channels?
So we have a lot of things which we do to acquire users right now. So to begin with, like I told you, we have a referral program where people
Okay.
can refer their
Yeah.
users. So which was 33% of all our users in the month of May. So that's one thing. Secondly, yes, we do some performance marketing because we have to do some campaigns out there, but that's a very, very small part of our user acquisition. Thirdly, we have a lot of people talking about us. We've not done any paid influencers so far, but we have a
Okay.
lot of influencers talking about us organically.
Organically. Okay.
So people who tried the product out, who love the product, who've spoken about us. So you can go to X, you can go to a lot of places, you can see a lot of people talking about the application. So that's the third piece where we have these influencers referring us. Then we keep posting a lot of social media content ourselves. Uh, we've been doing a lot of webinars. So we do a webinar every Saturday where people come for the webinar. We talk about the product, we give you a demo of the product, and then you end up signing up. We've done company webinars, for example. So I've done webinars for companies where unpaid. These are all free webinars where we do a masterclass on credit cards for the employees. Because if everyone's really curious about, for example, for you guys, right? So I'm sure there will be a lot of curiosity among your batchmates and everyone about credit cards, right? Because people have seen those videos. Now you may say, hey, why don't we do a session over here? Why don't we do a masterclass over here? So similarly, we've done credit card masterclasses for companies where we do a session virtually. We have a few hundred odd people who join in. We cover a few topics on credit cards, for example, credit score. We cover how to choose the right card for them, how to choose the right loyalty program. Then we do Q&A for those people. Most of those people end up downloading our app. So we keep doing a lot of things. Of course, the activities and the impact it has really keeps changing from time to time, the scale of the company. So what we were doing on day zero is not something we would be doing today, for example. So what we did when we hardly had a few hundred odd downloads is not what we're doing today. So we've been doing all of that.
How many active users do you have right now?
So we have 75,000 installs as we speak.
Okay.
About 60,000 people would be using the app.
And paid users?
About 5.5, 6,000 people who paid up.
And as you were creating a new market from the start, so you had to be very consistent and very high on motivation. So what are some things that kept you consistent throughout?
See, so actually, I also wonder if you're really creating a new market or probably trying to address a gap which was always there in the new way. So I firmly believe. So let me probably tell you what SaveSage, maybe give you some. So we know Amazon and Nykaa. Amazon is a horizontal platform wherein they have hundreds of categories on the platform.
Yes.
And then you have a Nykaa which is all about personal care
and cosmetics.
beauty. Of course, what you can find on Nykaa, you may in most of the in majority use cases you can also find it on Amazon. But the kind of experience you can get on a Nykaa when you're buying personal care, you will never get on Amazon, right? Similarly, you have a lot of horizontal fintech platforms out there when it comes to personal finance. So you've got the big ones like PhonePe, Paytm, Google Pay, and all these people have done an amazingly good job, right? What you don't have is a vertical platform for credit cards right now. So credit cards by themselves are a very, very complicated product. Like I said, there are hundreds of cards, thousands of active different cards being issued in India right now. We spoke about the penetration, which is 0.08 cards per person in India right now. With more and more people getting a credit card, the complexity will only go up. People will have multiple cards. So you need a dedicated platform for people to manage their credit cards, right? And none of the horizontal platforms, and in fact, people, even platforms which call themselves niche about credit cards, even they've not really done a very good job. I would not name any platforms, of course. But if you see, folks have not really done a very good job. The only thing all these platforms have done is enable you to make your credit card payments, which is not even 10% of what you need to do when it comes to credit cards. When it comes to cards, you need to know which is the right card for you based on your expenses, the categories, what benefits you pay for. once you get the right card, you need to know how to use it on a day in, day out basis, which card to use, where, how to use it, what are the benefits on your card, how many points you get. You need to know what is the value of your reward points, how many points you have, what are the different redemption options, where can you redeem those points, right? You need to be able to pay your bill, which all these platforms enable you to do so, but that's, like I said, is a cookie cutter job. After paying your bills, then you also, a lot of times you should be able to track your loyalty programs as well, because you get disproportionate value only when you transfer your credit card points to a loyalty program, like I said about travel and everything. So you also have that. Then you should be able to talk to a person if you need any help with anything, right? So none of the legacy platforms, unfortunately, have gone beyond credit card bill payments. We see ourselves as a vertical platform where we enable you to do anything and everything when it comes to credit cards in India. Right from telling you which is the right card for you, to enabling you to get the card and use it in the right manner, to paying your bills or transactional, to tracking your reward points. For example, you spoke about the Infinia card, right? So Infinia credit card has more than 50 different redemption options, right? From a cashback to redeeming it on Smart Buy to even transferring the reward points to more than 20 loyalty programs. Now, how does a person know which is the right what is the right redemption for them, what is the value they are getting, and what makes sense for them, what doesn't make sense for them? I know so many people who were redeeming the Infinia points for some shady voucher, like which wasn't making sense for them. So there's so much of work which is required to be done on this, and none of the guys are really doing anything. So this is where we come in. So if you have a specialized platform, for example, you have for insurance, for example, you have a specialized platform for FDs, you have specialized platforms for everything. Why don't you have a platform only for credit cards? Which is what people really need right now. So that's what we are, that's where we come in, and that's what we're really solving for. Of course, optimization is at the core of everything we do, but you don't have a vertical platform. You can just go and manage all your cards in the right manner and know what to do, what not to do. So this is where we come in.
And when did you get your first credit card?
At 18.
How did you get it at 18? Matlab?
So I was working in a call center. So this was 2005.
Okay.
I had this is after my first year, so I turned 18, and then I was working in a call center.
I'm a 2005 born.
So Wipro used to be pretty big in BPO, and so if you talk to your parents, they would tell you that there used to be this big debate, because call centers, BPOs became very big. There was a time, and there was good money to be made over there. So I joined a BPO during my summer vacations after my first year. And so they opened a salary account with Citibank, and Citibank gave me a Jet Airways credit card.
Okay.
And I was very happy to get a credit card. I had no idea how credit cards work. I knew that you don't have the money, but you can spend the money.
What was the credit limit?
I don't remember, probably 5-10K or something. That's it. Because I think the only things which I did was, so I'll tell you what I did. I remember that because, so this was in Powai in Bombay. So we used to have this building, and there used to be a DMart, and this was the first DMart they ever opened.
Okay.
It used to be on the ground floor. So they gave me a Citibank credit card. It was a Jet Airways card, and I was happy I had a card. Right? Because like I said, someone is giving you money to spend and you don't. So बहुत अच्छा लगता था भाई. And I went to DMart because I wanted to use the card and see how it works. So I went to DMart. And supermarkets भी इतने नहीं होते थे वो time पे. And DMart वहाँ पे बहुत बड़ा, it's functional even now. So they had this big DMart over there, and I went to the DMart, and I bought I think some Coke or something, a couple of things worth 150 bucks or something, and just wanted to try the card out. कैसे काम करता है in the supermarket. But yeah, that was an experience, and I was using the card. I had no idea what reward points or anything, so was using it. And then I think 1.5, 2 years later, I had to, a few of my friends were in Goa, and I wanted to join those guys, and there were no train tickets available. So, and suddenly it struck me that it's Jet Airways mentioned on the credit card. So what does it really do? Is there something which I can be done over there? So I went to Jet Airways website. They had an option to log in, and there was this membership ID which was mentioned on the credit card. So I entered the membership ID, and I was able to log in using email OTP. And to my shock, I was able to book a Bombay to Goa ticket for 5,000 points, and I had 5,500.
So you didn't know those points existed before that?
I had no idea whatsoever, but then there was no looking back. I mean, so then there was no looking back. For example, I spoke about CFA, right? So I remember this, and I think I should share with you guys. So I paid my CFA fees, And so what I did, there used to be a Citibank cashback card at that point, and then I got a cashback card. So I got a cashback card, and उसकी condition ये होती थी कि अगर आप सैटरडे संडे को स्पेंड करते हो, you get 2.5% cashback.
Okay.
And when you spend on the other 5 days, you get 0.5% cashback.
Okay.
तो पांचों दिन कुछ खर्चा नहीं करना है, वीकेंड पे खर्च. So when I paid my CFA fees, so I paid on a Saturday. I made sure. So I remember sitting रात को 11:55 को Friday night, waiting कब 12 बजे. जैसे ये 12 बजे, then I'll wait for 2 more minutes just to be sure कि भाई अगर टाइमिंग में उनके कुछ इशू हो जाए. And then 12:05 I'll make the payment, and then I'll wait ki 2 point. And I used to feel so good, and I used to flaunt ki bhai to my friends and everyone ki you paid the fees, I also paid the fees, but I got 2.5% cashback. What did you get? So quite amazing. We bought a car. I remember I made the down payment using my credit card. The person, it was a Toyota Etios. This was back in 2011. Same card. So
the cashback card.
Yes. So I made sure I went on a weekend and I paid. So the person, I paid 1.5% more, but I got 2.5% on the overall amount. So 1% और मिला. I was happy. I mean, why not?
And seeing how you have used credit card for more than 20 years, how do you think has the consumer mindset shifted from millennials to now Gen Zs?
See, there's a lot more awareness. For example, if I go and talk to my parents, right? So they were very skeptical about cards, right? They always viewed credit cards as a very bad product, a very bad instrument, right? उनके हिसाब से, if you get a card, it's financial ruin for you because you would probably end up being in debt and paying 35-40% in interest. They were correct in some shape and form, and I'll come to why. My generation was a lot more knowledgeable, so people who were smart enough to make sense of all of it, we were able to use it, and I did use it properly. I've never defaulted on any payment. Your generation, because there's so much of information out there, right? You have influencers posting video, you can go compare anything, you know everything inside out, right? So you guys have a lot more knowledge. So जो mental barrier होता है ना कि ये नहीं लेना चाहिए कुछ, वो नहीं है. Our parents had a lot of it. We had probably some of it. You guys don't have any of it. Even now, if you go and talk to your parents, some of them may still say कि भाई मत लो, it's not really a good thing. ये debt trap है, ये है वो है. But I also believe, see, credit cards are a lot about discipline. If you are financially disciplined, then it's a very, very good instrument because I mean, someone's literally paying you to spend, right? So if someone's paying you money, you have to pay them back after 30 days, 40 days. You're getting a lot of benefits over there. You're getting reward points which can pay for your travel and everything. At the same time, if you're not disciplined enough, then it's the worst product which you can ever use because you end up paying 35-40%. It doesn't make sense for you to do that, right? Apart from all the other charges which you pay. So if you're not disciplined enough, if you cannot pay your bills on time, if you're not someone who can do all of that, then you should not do that. Another difference is that हमारे parents की generation में कोई tools नहीं होते थे, so they had to do everything on paper. Things they were not aware. अगर bill भी pay करना पड़ता, you guys may not have ever done that. जब मैंने भी credit card का bill भरा था, we used to pay a week in advance because of physical check होते थे, check बनाते थे. I used to travel by Mumbai local, so हम जाके train के station के ऊपर वो drop box होता था, उसमें डालते थे. And then we used to wait, आया नहीं आया, credit आया नहीं आया. So abhi wo sab nahi, you can just go make a payment. You have tools. For example, you can manage your credit cards on SaveSage application. There were no such tools or anything out there, right? So managing a credit card used to be a lot more complicated. That's why people would end up missing on their payments and everything. That is not the case anymore. So you have a lot of tools at your disposal which will make sure. So discipline वहाँ पे थोड़ा counter हो जाता है because you have tools which will help you. But if you don't have money and if you're someone who ends up spending money without having and you can't pay it back, then you should not use a card because it's the worst kind of product you can have. उसके बाद में I think जो लोग काफी कहते थे कि it makes you spend money which you don't have. But I also feel now if you have to spend money which you don't have, you have a lot of avenues to do so. So we should not really single out credit cards as the culprit. So for example, you can get an EMI even on debit cards. So if you don't have the money, you can spend money on a debit card. You have BNPL. You go and you spend on Amazon, you get 60,000 rupees worth of credit limit. You don't need a credit card to. So there are many ways that if you're not disciplined enough, you can spend money and you can still go through the financial ruin. And we should not really call out credit cards as being the culprit, is what I'm trying to say. But of course, the discipline has to be there.
So I think we should wrap up now because it's been quite a stretch.
Yes.
But right before we do that, what is some advice that you would have for people that are just starting out?
Yeah. Sorry. This is for credit cards, right?
Yeah, this is for credit cards.
For both. Firstly, the credit card side and for entrepreneurs also.
See, so credit cards, I think it's a very good product if you use it well. Get one card, begin to use it for some time. Don't go all in on day zero. Use it for a couple of months. Use it sparingly for a couple of months. You will know your behavior, and then if you're someone who can manage your cards properly, then you can go deeper. Like I said earlier, if you use them well, they are a very good instrument. So that's about credit cards. But I feel everyone and anyone should use a card.
Mhm.
If you're not using a card, then you're probably incentivizing someone who's using a card. So if you're not using card, if you're paying through UPI or cash, if I'm using a card, you're probably paying for my vacation. I'll tell you how. So Amazon, for example. Now Amazon, let's say they make a sale of 1 lakh rupees on a daily basis.
Okay.
20,000 is paid through cards. 30,000 is paid through debit cards. 50,000 is paid through cash or UPI. Let's take an example, right? So the 20,000 which came through credit cards, right? So Amazon had to pay some fees to accept that. It's called MDR, right? So
MDR,
for
yes.
20,000, they probably paid 200 rupees. I'm just taking a random number over here. So they got 200 rupees less. For debit card, they probably paid, let's say, 0.5%. So they 150 rupees less. So, and for 50,000 rupees, they did not pay anything. So the cost of accepting payment for Amazon was 350 bucks over here on 1 lakh rupees.
Yes.
Which will be used from the people who paid.
So, but इसका जो benefit जो मिला, जो उन्होंने बैंक को दिया, and बैंक ने reward points दिए, वो दिए जो 20,000 वालों को. So, but Amazon when they do their pricing calculations and everything, for them it would be मैंने 1 लाख की सेल की, मुझे 99,650 का collection हुआ. So they will do their pricing accordingly, right?
Yes.
So if they are marking up by 350 bucks, which they paid, all of us are paying it.
So the people who are paying through.
But benefit किसको मिला? जिसको reward points में जिसने properly किया, and who is subsidizing me, जिसने cash में pay किया, UPI में pay किया. So thanks to people like you, I'm able to afford my Bali vacation. But this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that more and more people are in the top bracket. More and more people are able to get this benefit. More and more people are smart enough to get this benefit. So that's one. Secondly, from an entrepreneurship perspective, I think you guys, what are you guys waiting for? I mean, you guys have the time, you guys have the exposure, you should do it. If not now, then when? You can fail again and again and keep learning. So if you want to do something, just do it. I mean, I was having a conversation with one of your batchmates outside, right? And this is what I told him as well. Karna hai to karo yaar, what is holding you back? Exposure hai, paisa hai, sab kuch hai. I mean, the hottest startup in India right now, Zepto, is by college dropouts, right?
Absolutely.
So what is holding you guys back?
So thank you, Ashish. This was an amazing podcast. We got to learn a lot about credit cards in general, about entrepreneurship, fintech, and everything. And I hope our audience also does. Thank you so much.
Thank you.